Hi there guys and girls, and welcome to my review of Mortal Kombat 2 on arcade. So, MK2, probably considered to be the greatest Mortal Kombat game of all time, I'd say. But it depends what era you're from, it really does. Like, if you're an old schooler like me, you were there from the start. Most people gravitate towards MK2 or MK3, because a lot of people like the combo system. Mortal Kombat 2 was definitely very special. I believe it had the most, the coolest sort of follow-on from Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat was already like great, and they had to raise the bar higher on that. You know, so Mortal Kombat 1, the story was that you, on Shang Tsung's island, which is in between Earth and Outworld, there's a tournament, you know. We find out in the intro screens of Mortal Kombat 2 that Liu Kang won that tournament, and apparently Goro was killed. So this enraged Shah Kahn, and then they came up with a new scheme to have a new tournament in Outworld. So it was actually on foreign soil, like, and this is sort of a breach already of the Mortal Kombat rules. The Mortal Kombat rules say that the tournament's usually supposed to be held on neutral ground in between the two realms, so there's no like unfair advantage. But because Outworld came up with this tournament, you know, it was up to them if they wanted to accept or not. You know, and of course, because our warriors are heroes, they all accepted, and the tournament was in Outworld. Now this opened the door to have some really crazy, like, beautiful backgrounds, like the Deadpool, the Living Forest, the Portal, Khan's Arena, Combat Tomb, the Pit 2, all these, the Armory, all these awesome stages, and they all kind of set the tone of Outworld. Every stage, if you think about it, in Mortal Kombat 2, is kind of scary. The Deadpool has the acid and the hooks, that just looks dangerous already. Wastelands, if you look carefully in the background, there's a lot of dead bodies in the background, in the fog, there's skulls, you know. It's got that purple, that beautiful purple that I always say MKX is lacking, the mysteriousness. Living Forest, those trees just oozed danger. There's people, you know, caught up in the vines, dead, and the trees have faces on them, like, you know, they look, you knew straight away you're in a dangerous place. The Armory, well, you know, you got lava flowing through it in the background, you got a whole lot of weapons, you know, that just says that Outworld's prepared to go to war, you know, with other realms, I guess. The Pit 2, beautiful, again, very mysterious. The Pit 2 has a hidden danger. You don't really see it. It looks dangerous fighting on a bridge, on a skinny bridge, you know, between two mountain peaks. But the danger really is falling off, and you see that via stage fatality. Same with Combat Tomb, it's kind of hidden danger. You got a beautiful background there with the dragons flying around and that, but you know, when you hit them on the roof, all the spikes are on the roof, you know, you see that. Khan's Arena is a dangerous place because Shah Kahn's in the background. You got this crowd watching, this sick Outworlders that come to these tournaments to watch and cheer on. They only cheer on Kintaro and Shah Kahn. They don't fucking cheer you on. They're on Outworld's side, believe you me. They're not neutral at all. So every level in Mortal Kombat 2 had that danger. And so when you were playing Mortal Kombat 2, and you know, depends on who you were, but you know, you were a visitor, and it felt like that. You felt like you were in a very dangerous place, and you kind of had to beat it. You know, beating the computer is one thing, beating the AI is one thing, but it's also about beating the game and seeing all those levels and getting through them and then beating the game. So, you know, Mortal Kombat 1 had 7 playable characters, Mortal Kombat 2 had 12, so they upped the ante with the amount of playable characters, more background arenas, more fatalities. All characters had 2 fatalities. They also had a babality and a friendship. Stage fatality now had to be done via like a fatality with a, you know, like forward down forward or something. In the Mortal Kombat 1 you just uppercutted them off the pit. So they took Mortal Kombat 1 and refined it and added all these cool things, you know, all these cool characters. And you now kind of, if you think about it too, Mortal Kombat 1 had sub-boss Goro and boss Shang Tsung. If you think about Mortal Kombat 2, it kind of has 3 bosses. Shah Kahn's the boss, the final boss. Kintaro's the sub-boss, and Shang Tsung's the sub-boss, because Shang Tsung's always before. It always goes Shang Tsung, Kintaro, Shao Kahn. So that was kind of like the evil lineup of MK2. It was like you fought Shang Tsung, then you fought Kintaro, then you fought Shao Kahn. You know, like, almost like they're trying to gang up on you. Everyone else that you fight, you know, is randomly generated. Mortal Kombat 2 had 3 secret characters: Noob Saibot, Smoke, and Jade. Jade was accessible by using low kick before the question mark. That's how you got Jade. To get Smoke on the portal level, when you uppercut, if you see Toasty come in the corner, you have to push start and down at the same time. Noob Saibot, you had to play 250 matches of Mortal Kombat 2 in 2-player. Yes, it works. I've done it. You know, you get the gold MK, the 2 gold or 3 gold MK2 logos and that. So everything was awesome about it. As for the arcade, like, Mortal Kombat 2 brought in this DCS sound system. I mentioned in a previous video that I always thought that Mortal Kombat 2 on arcade had the best sound, like the greatest audio. Even just every time I hear it, I'm just like, ooh, you know, it just sounds great. The music just sounds really, really awesome. The sound effects sound so great. And, you know, I don't know if it's just the design of the sound just sounds great, or if it's just the sound system brings something to it, but whatever it is, Mortal Kombat 2, for me, clearly has the best audio out of all the arcades. There's something about it, there's something that just sounds like perfect. How was Mortal Kombat 2 received? Mate, Mortal Kombat 2 was crazy. Ed Boon's told stories that Mortal Kombat 2 was so popular and made so much money that they couldn't supply and demand the game boards as much as arcade operators wanted them, and people would actually go around and steal the boards out of the arcade machine. So they would put security panels around, metal panels, and padlock them to protect not the money, the game inside. That's insane. That's how much money that Mortal Kombat 2 was making. It was making shitloads of cash. You know, this was like the game you had to have. This was like the Daytona of fighting games. And you know what? As popular as Street Fighter is, there's no way for me to know. I would like to know what made more money in its opening, Street Fighter 2 or Mortal Kombat 2. I'd be willing to take the bet that I reckon MK2 would have smashed that, because people always go on to me, you know, because I'm a Mortal Kombat fan, I always hear about Street Fighter, you know, Street Fighter's so good. But, you know, in Australia, I've never seen Street Fighter like hugely popular. It's always around. People play it, yes. It's got that constant play. People will always play it. But I remember when Mortal Kombat 2 came out, and I visited Melbourne. I was living in Queensland, came down to Melbourne, and they had MK2. And I went into the city, and it's still there, Melbourne Central. On the top floor, they had a time zone, and I went into this time zone, and there were 2, not 1, 2 Mortal Kombat 2s, 1, 2 next to each other, right? And there was a line on each cabinet of about 5 people, and I was like, oh, I had to fucking wait. I didn't want to wait. I wanted to play, and I didn't want to wait because these guys, you could tell they'd been on it all day long. And for some reason, I still don't know why. I still don't have an answer to this day. Everyone was playing Johnny Cage. Everyone, I remember that. I remember being like, why is everyone playing Johnny Cage? I still don't have an answer to that. I thought Johnny Cage must have been like the best new character or something. It must have been, I mean, he does have the low and high fireballs and that. But everyone was Johnny Cage on both cabinets. I remember, and I was just like, they were playing 2-player, Johnny Cage versus Johnny Cage, Johnny Cage versus Johnny Cage, just constantly. That's something that I always thought was kind of bizarre. But, you know, Johnny, I'm not saying he's a bad character or anything, I just thought it was real strange. Maybe it was just a flavour of the month sort of thing, I don't know. But, you know what, Mortal Kombat 2, top game. I'd probably give Mortal Kombat 2 and MK1, I'd probably give them both, you know, a 10 out of 10, really. But I like Mortal Kombat 1 slightly more, just for the originality in the pit. So maybe I'd have to say Mortal Kombat 2 is 9.9 out of 10, and Mortal Kombat 1 is a 10, just so it just gets over the line. But both games are just so much fun. Mortal Kombat 2 was a lot more faster, a lot more fluid, a lot more deadly, had beautiful environments, superb soundtrack by Dan Forden. I mean, everyone loves the MKG soundtrack. You know, all the moves, everything was brought up. It was just such a great game to play. So cool. The cabinet artwork had, you know, Raiden on the side, had his hand up, raw. Sorry, I've got a lot of riffy, I can't do it properly. Had his hand up, raw, you know, and all the lightning coming down, and the control panel had this beautiful marble with lightning striking the buttons and like wrapping around the buttons, and yep, great game. I loved playing Mortal Kombat 2 on arcade, and I love having it. You know, I'm lucky I own the game board, even though I don't have the proper cabinet. One day we'll get there, hopefully. But at least I get to play the game and enjoy it, you know. Mortal Kombat 2 had this collector's edition comic book offer too. Mortal Kombat 1, comic book. Mortal Kombat 1 just had a comic book. Mortal Kombat 2 had a CD and a comic book offer, which you mailed away for. Now, the CD is something that I've been trying to get for a long time. And I don't know what it is. I've been cursed by someone. I've had so much bad luck trying to get that damn CD. I've tried to buy it like 4 or 5 times on eBay, and every time something's gone wrong. And the worst part about it is that the CDs, this guy called Mr. Soundtrack Collector or some bullshit, he was selling them on eBay and everyone was buying them. And I had a fight with that guy, because what happened was, there was a site around that used to be around called Game Max, and they were selling all this Midway stuff, and they had a whole box of the Mortal Kombat 2 CDs and a whole box of the Mortal Kombat 3 and 4 CDs. And I bought a 3 and 4 CD, I got one, and then I emailed them, went, you don't happen to have the Mortal Kombat 2 one, do you? We did, but we sold them a week ago. I missed out by getting an MK2 one by a week, and they told me that this guy got them all. And I got his, I don't remember how, I found his contact details, and I'm like, yeah, I know you bought these from this site for, you know, $10 each. It was something like that. And he bought something like, you know, 30 or 40 CDs that they had just sitting in a box there. You know, and I asked him for one, and then it got all weird. I don't remember, he didn't want to send it or something, and then he asked me to find him like this Never-Ending Story CD, and I found him that, and then he wouldn't fucking send me the Mortal Kombat 2 CD, and I just told him to fuck off, and then I'm like, fuck off, you know, which really pissed me off, because, you know, I've always wanted to have that MK1 and 2 CD. And the last time I tried to buy it from someone on eBay who claimed it was an original CD. He said it was an original CD. And so I paid an insane amount of money for it, you know, because I had a bit of cash spare. And I've always wanted to own that damn CD. It's the only Mortal Kombat CD I'm missing in my collection. So I put something insane down, like $250 for this CD. You know, I tried to buy it off eBay in the past for like $15 US and stuff like that. You know, so I put down $250. This guy sends a CD, and it's a copy. It's a copy, and he's printed out the thing. I replied back and I said, fuck you, you said this is an original. This is not an original. Fucking printed out on a fucking bubble jet printer, the inlays and all this bullshit, you know. And then he's like, oh, send the CD back and I'll refund your money. And I told him, I'm not sending a pirated CD in the mail. Fuck you. You'll just give me my money back. And, you know, I went through all this crap and got my money back. But, yeah, so those are some of my stories in regards. I still don't have this damn CD. I'm going to get it one day. I know I am. I know someone who's got it, and he's recently been selling off a lot of his collection. But he told me he won't sell a CD. But if he ever does, I know him really well. He'll offer it to me. He knows I really want it. You know, so it's just one of those things. The comic book I've actually got. I bought that off eBay a while back too. So yeah, I've got that, and I've got the comic book. And, you know, it was cool that the arcades offered these things. Like, I wish back in the day I'd just sent away from myself, you know. But it's cool that they offered this stuff, you know. Never really heard of it. And this is just some of the reasoning. Oh, this just goes to show that Mortal Kombat did have strong stories, because John Tobias did these comic books and did these drawings and did this artwork, you know, and the fact that people liked the music from the first Mortal Kombat they made a Mortal Kombat 2 CD, you know, and there was some great stuff on there too. It's good to have that, you know, Mortal Kombat 2 stuff. So yeah, you know, I guess that's it for my review of MK2 on arcade. It's absolute classic game, timeless. You know, if you weren't in the arcades, if you're a young guy, you weren't around when MK2 was in the arcades, I wish you could have seen it, because it was just, you know, it was cool to see a new Mortal Kombat game just in the arcades, not in the home market, and everyone just buzzing around it, you know, and all the talk and hype and people sharing moves and all that stuff, you know. And I actually tweeted out a picture last year at PAX. They had a Mortal Kombat 2 there. I actually know the guy who runs that classic gaming area, and he had a whole lot of arcades there, and he had Mortal Kombat 2 there, you know. And I tweeted out a picture of like 3 people huddled around the machine playing the game, and I think my caption was something like, oh, I miss these days, you know, because that's exactly how it looked when the game was new. People were huddled around, and you'd be like, what's going on, you know, and you'd be like on the sides trying to see what the fuck's going on, because there were like all these people watching, you know. And that's how you found out stuff. You'd watch their hand movements, see what moves they were doing, all sorts of shit. It was crazy, mate. It was crazy days. I miss it, you know. So it was good fun. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys for another video real soon. Peace.